Very good evening and welcome you all to the second talk in the series of Himalayan dialogue on Sāma, Jataka in China. The stories are spread in many ways. And when Buddhism was introduced to China through many routes, of course, many stories travel along. As we know, Buddhism faced resistance in its early days in China. And then we observe what we can call the first version of globalization, where Buddhism adapting to many local traditions to become part of Chinese or Southeast Asian social fabric. Many Chinese monks and scholars travel to India in search of original Buddhist scriptures or knowledge. The journey to seek knowledge still continues today. Now we have scholars like Professor Ling, among others, looking for some of the unanswered questions and trying to decipher Buddhism in China. And Professor Ling is a professor at Institute of Taoism and Religious Culture at Sichuan University. Professor Lee was distinguished visiting professor at Israel Institute for Advanced Studies. She was also a visiting senior scholar at Jawaharlal Nehru University from 2017 to 2018. Professor Lee has published 18 monographs, including The Image of Avalokiteshvara in Tibetan Buddhism, from China Religious Culture Publishing, Scriptures and Images, a study on iconography of Tibet Buddhism, and essays on Buddhism. She has also published more than 100 articles in peer-reviewed journals. She also directs the National Social Science Project on studies on cultural exchange between Sichuan, Yunnan, and Angkor from 8th to 12th century. Now, to chair the session, we have Professor Y.S. Alone. He is a professor at the School of Arts and Statics, Jawaharlal Nehru University. He has written extensively on ancient Indian art, and he is a critic of Walter Spinnick, Buddhist caves, modern Indian art, neo-Buddhist visual culture. He has published several research papers in journals and chapters in edited volumes. He has curated exhibition as a point of departure to critique the idea of meta-narratives of modernity as tracing the difference. His research interests include ancient Indian art, Buddhist art, modern Indian art, and popular visual culture, neo-Buddhist visual culture, photography, philosophy, and general social sciences. He has lectured widely at many places in India and outside India, mainly Germany, Spain, USA, and China and Sri Lanka. He was also an ICCR chair, visiting professor at Sanchi University, China. He was also invited for short-term visiting professor at Renmin University, Beijing, China, and also at East China Normal University and Heidelberg University in Germany. Professor Y.S. Alone also served as a member of various committees of Government of India. He recently published a book, Early Western Indian Buddhist Caves, Forms and Patterns. He has evolved a critical conceptual formation termed as protected ignorance, and has lectured and published paper on it. And without any much delay, let me invite Professor Y.S. Alone to chair the session. Welcome, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Rajiv, and thanks for hosting this wonderful lecture. Not taking much time, I would invite Professor Ling to present a talk, and we are looking forward to it. It consists of many aspects, and as you know, as everybody knows, that Shyam Jatak is one very interesting story which is found in two versions, at least in India, that is the Pali version and the Arya Source Jatak Mala. And it has number of nuances. So we are looking forward to study of Professor Ling. So may I invite Professor Ling to begin her lecture. And also may I also request the participant that the question and answer, like you will have to type your questions and the Ling will address them after the lecture when I when I say so. Professor Ling, kindly begin your talk. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you, Professor Rajiv and Professor Alonis. My topic is about Syama Jataka in China, focus on the images. And this is the poster about my lectures. Alonis is my old friend, close friend, and Rajiv do so many detail about my lectures. So thank you to all. My topic is focused on two images. One of these, this one come from Sichuan province and Dazhu city. This picture is showing like this. We can see there are group fingers. In the middle is a young man carried their parents, and this monk is Ananda, and this three person is non-Buddhist masters. But from the inscription, here is an inscription said the middle one is non-Buddhist son, Brahma's son. So I think Indian scholar or student may be similar nowadays. Images come from Ajanta, is Sāma, is a dutiful son. And this picture also the Syama Jataka's festival, some traditional festival showing the Syama carried their parents. So we all know this image is Syama, but why in Dazhu, the caves, this image, this finger is not Syama, is believed as a non-Buddhist son. So this is my question. And the Syama image is here, another side of the Dazhu caves, like this. It's not common. It's a common image. We can see here the lie down the finger is a Syama. He might be died, and this his mother and his father. This finger is Indra, and here is the king. So it's very strange for me. Why this image not look like the traditional? So different. So I think about this topic. I will tell you the Samjataka how to reach to China. At about 3rd century AD, this story will be well known to Chinese people through the spread of Buddhism. The image start from Xinjiang province and goes eastward to Dunhuang. So this image popular about from 5th century to 7th century. This image is very typical and highly recognized. It followed about the water-taking style that has been fixed from Sanchi stupa since around the 1st century BC. But around 8th century to 9th century, another image of filial piety appeared in Dunhuang caves. This image looked like showing the old mothers in the illustration of a Sutra of Gratitude. Chinese name is Bao En Jing, means repaid to parents' kindness. In this illustration of the sutra, this showing the old mother's image was considered as non-Buddhist image. At the same time, the Sichuan Dazhu Baoding cave, the illustration of the sutra graduated in the Southern Song Dynasty appeared that showing the parent style. So this little different. In Dunhuang only carried his mother, but in Dazhu carried his parents, father and mother. So even if the Dunhuang and the Dazhu, the images all belong to the non-Buddhist image, but Dazhu style is completely different from Dunhuang. So which is the key point of my problem. So my question is, where does the Dazhu image come from? And why this dutiful son become a non-Buddhist figure? The filial piety text of Tripitaka, Chinese Tripitaka, is the first one is Shyama Sutra or Shama Jataka, because this sutra talking about a dutiful son, so it's very popular in China. We can find nearly 8 versions, Chinese versions in Chinese Tripitaka about this same sutra. The earliest one is translated about 3rd century AD, and till to 7th century. Because the Shama is a dutiful son, so this sutra was considered as a sutra of filial piety. So it's very famous in China. This sutra we can find in Taisho, added by Japanese, Tripitaka Volume 3, and the number is 175b. We can know the story about Sāma Jataka. And the important things is Shama taking the water for his parents because his parents were thirsty, and then he was killed by the king. When he will be died, he still worry about his old parents. So at the last, when the Indra and the Devi heard his parents crying, so they come down from the heaven and let Shama get the life, and his parents also can open the air. This is the story. At the last, the Shakyamuni Buddha told Ananda that Shama is me. Shama is me. It's my former life, and the king is Ananda. Then he told Ananda, the person should be kindness to his parents, to the other people. This is important as a human being, as a human. Because the filial piety is very important things in traditional China. So the Sāma Jataka story is very famous from about 12th century. So this story little into Chinese tradition culture, especially Confucianism, because the Confucian is focused on filial piety. So we can see from Song Dynasty or Yuan Dynasty about 11th century or 30th century. They are famous texts about 24 filial piety story. One of 24 story is about 入乳奉亲, means bearing the deal milk for his parents. This story depend on Sāma Jataka. Because this the son, his name, Chinese name is Tanzi. Tanzi is similar to Shyama, because Shyama pronounced in Chinese is Shanzi. So Confucian's 24 filial piety story, the son's name is Tanzi. It's very, very famous, it's similar. We can find some visual material in the ancient graves. I will show you some example. This one is found in Song Dynasty grave, about 11th century. Tell about the 入乳奉亲 means the son, the dutiful son, carry the deer's milk to his parents. And another picture found in 30th century graves. We can see the king take the bull, kill the son. The son and the deer, he take the milk from the deer. This is very famous from Buddhism to the folk. So most Chinese people know this story. And this is a New Year painting about the Qing Dynasty in 8th century, 18th century or 19th century. The cut printing found in Shandong province. Here is the Syama or Tanzi, Chinese Tanzi. He wear the deer skin, and here is the hunter. Is the hunter. He almost killed the boy. And if people visit the modern monastery, we will see this painting on the wall. It's the modern painting about this story. Here is the dutiful son. He wear the deer skin, and here is the hunter. He nearly shot the boy. And about 30 years before, there are also a movie about this story. And these are modern cartoon kills, teaching the young people how to become a dutiful son. It's very interesting. I mean, this story is very popular in China. From Buddhist Sāma Jataka to Confucianism, it's a dutiful son story. So question are coming is that the image of Shyama on boarding kill in Dazhu, why this this image is completely different from traditional Syama Jataka images. Well, another image of Brahma is similar to Syama. So why? This is my question. I will tell you two Buddhist sources. One is Syama Jataka or Sutra of Syama. This text comes from India, and another text is a Sutra of Gratitude. In the introduction or preface, talking about a dutiful son. This text write by Chinese people. So two texts, two sources. One is India, another is China. And the two images. One image is fetching water or taking the water. Another is the shouting his parents or bearing his parents on shoulders. Two images and the two texts. And my focus question is who the bearing the parents on shoulder is, a pagan or Shama, means Brahma's son or Buddhist son. And why there's difference between before images and Dazu, means before images is one style and the Dazu image is another style. And then here some images, why become a pagan, a Brahma's son. The validity is the weakness of Buddhist. When the Buddhists from India reached to China, against by Chinese scholar of Chinese tradition scholar because of the filial piety. So because of this, the Buddhist or the monk want to against this theory. So they translate some Buddhist filial piety text. We can say from 6th century. This is the earliest text. An Shigao, he has come from Central Asia's monk. He translate one is filial piety text. Chinese name is I don't know how to say. Buddha teaching to repay parents' kindness is translated by An Shigao. His 2nd century AD, and then is another filial piety sutra. We don't know the translator, about 3rd century AD, and the third one is translated by Kumalajiva. He also translates this filial piety sutra, and the last one is Ulabana. Talking about the Mahamgalana, how this monk to repay his mother. This talking about this story. But even if this filial piety sutra was translated, but most scholar or monk believe this text is superior script, because in Chinese Tripitaka have 3 kind of text. One is a real or truth text. Another is superior text, means write by Chinese people. And the third one is adapted text, means maybe write by Chinese scholar. So 3 kind of text. So the text of filial piety was considered as superior scriptures from Tang Dynasty, about 8th century. Even if this sutra was considered as folk text, but it's very, very popular because the people like this theory, like the phalipathy. So we can find many copy piece found in Dunhuang. I show you some handwriting piece found in Dunhuang about Phalipathy Sutra. And at the same time, the Sutra of Phalipathy appeared, and the visual material also be found. We can find. I will give you example at Dunhuang mural. We can find some illustration of Phalipathy Sutra, more than 50 pieces, 50 murals in Dunhuang. So the Sāma Jataka or Phalipathy Sutra is give two questions. One is the text. About text, we can know the Buddhism finger. The finger is fetching the water, and another is the Brahmanism. The image is shouldering the parents. So the text have two kind. One is Buddhism, another is Brahmanism, and the image also have two. One is the taking the water, another is shouting his parents. I want to talking about two things, this image. One is syncretizing, the Buddhist syncretizing, and another is route of transmission. How to the image come to China, come to Dazhu, especially in Dazhu, Sichuan province. The Syama image have two types. I will tell you the typical image, typical style. One is the water brain style. This is the type 1 water fetching or taking water style. This image comes from Sanchi stupa, Sanchi stupa, number 1. Yes, number 1. The image of Shyama take the water like this. And this two piece come from Gandhala art. We also can see here is Shyama image. He take the water from here, and the deer, and here's the king. And another one is almost the same. And Shyama take the water from the pool, and he was killed. All the image follow the type 1 follow the earliest Sanchi images. So we can see when the image reached to China, also followed the take water style. This image comes from Kizir, cave number 70. This one is Syama. He take the water from here, and this one is the king. He take the arrow, shot the Syama. And they are almost 6 size in Dunhuang mural from 7th century to from 6th century to 7th century. I will show you some example. This one is come from cave number 299, 6th century. In the ceiling of the cave, this is around the ceiling is the story of Syama Jataka. And this the image of Syama. He take the water from here, and here is a deer. This image is a king. He take the arrow, and the king visit his parents. And this another cave, cave number 461 and the cave number 302. Here is the Shama. He take water, and this is the king. And this another the scenes of the story. His father and mother. This is the Shama will be die, and here is the king. And also have more exam in Kizir Q number 8, Q number 14, and also one exam in German. And also found magician Q number 1 to 7. All these images is belong to the type 1 water fetch, follow the Sanchi style. And next, we will focus on the image in Dazu rock carving. Dazu cave in Sichuan province. Here is Sichuan. Here is Beijing, capital of China. So Sichuan province belong to the southwest of China. Here's the Yunnan, and here's the Tibetan. In Dazu city, there have many Buddhist sites. The mainly is 5 mountain. The Dazu is here. The mountain name Baoding Mountain. And there are so many images and fingers belong to the Southern Song dynasty, about the 12th century. Here is the valley of the Dazu carving. People into the traveler from this way, from here, and can see along this way. I will focus on the shrine number 17. Is here. Here is image of illustration about filial. People visit Dazu cave from this way, but actually this is not the beginning. The cave, just the tourist way. So at the beginning, is a famous monk of Southern Song dynasty. He is a great monk, and then a second sense is Kasiti Gaba Bodhisattva. He is Bodhisattva in the hill. So we can see around the Bodhisattva is the sense of the hill. And the next is the Pure Land sense. And this 3 person is Holy Third of the West. Pure Land, the Buddha and Bodhisattva. In the middle is Amitabha, and this one is Avalokiteshvara, and this one is Mahastama Plata. And this aerial show the 9 levels in the Pure Land, or called Sukhavati. The people, because his karma, can get different levels real life. And the next is a sutra, illustration of Sutra of Philipati. In the middle is a Shakyamuni Buddha, and around him is about the dutiful son story, or maybe the former life of Shakyamuni Buddha. And from this side, we can see my topic is here. And actually, this is the beginning of this area's sculpture. Because from this inscription, we can know when Ananda to go for a beggar on the street, he meet Brahma's son. This the son point that Ananda is not the not dutiful son, because he left his home and not offered his parents. So Ananda feel confusions. Then he go back ask Shakyamuni Buddha why and how to do. So we can know this is the beginning of this sculpture group. So here's the beginning, because Ananda was accused unfairly. This is the middle of the image of the sculpture is Shakyamuni Buddha, and he is explaining about this. It's modern explaining. This is all the sculpture, all the this area sculpture. We can see some size of here. Because this area is talking about the former life of Shakyamuni, or Shakyamuni's life, how to become a dutiful son. We can see this image showing Shakyamuni Buddha. He is the Shakyamuni Buddha. When his father died, he carrying his father's coffins. I don't know how to say. Coffin, yeah, coffins. Carry his father's coffins. And here is showing that his father will be die, and the Buddha, Shakyamuni Buddha, go back home to see his fathers. And this size here is Syama Jataka. But this, because the people believe Syama is the former life of Shakyamuni, but the showing the image is not common images, not the tradition style, means not the carrying water style. We can see the artisan make another style here, showing the Syama Jataka. Why we know this is the Syama Jataka, not typical image of Syama? Because here is the inscription. It's copy of the Sutra of Syama. And the next is also showing showing the Philipati Sutra, because this area talking about how difficult and hard time for parents keep a child growing up. We can see some detail. Here is the mother. He's birthing his baby. It's a hard time for him, and some lady is helping her to birth a baby. And when baby is birthed, when he pee in the night on the back, the mother move the baby to a dry place, and herself lie down the dirty place, and another is also showing the same story. And go back the beginning, we can see these images considered as the dutiful son of Brahmas. Here is Ananda, and these images is 6 non-Buddhist master, and one master point out that Ananda means he is not dutiful son because he left home, not offering his parents, compared with the Brahma son. In this size, we can see in all the aerial sculptures. Here's Ananda. This is the preface of the sutra. From this inscription, we can know the sculpture's narrative, the stories. And this is a Brahma's dutiful son. He's carry his parents. And this is the 6 non-Buddhist master. They are accused a Buddhist monk unfair behavior. This is the inscription, means the 6 non-Buddhist master accused the Buddhist monk unfair behavior. We know the carried parents belong to the image of Shyama Jataka from Ajanta, cave number 17, about 5th century. But why at Indian this image is Buddhist dutiful son, but in Dazu is normal Buddhist son and become Brahma's son? From the preface of the dutiful son, from this sutra, we know about this story. Important, the keywords is the Brahma son only carry his old mother, not parents. And this illustration of the sutra is very popular in Dunhuang and in another Buddhist context. This the found the silk painting in Dunhuang. And this another example of the illustration of Sutra Falipati Sutra. And this is a mural painting in Dunhuang cave number 108. We can see here is the preface of Falipati Sutra. The Brahma son carry his parents, only carry his mother, only mother. And this is a more clear. The Brahma son carry his mother on shoulder, and here is Ananda. as another example. It's also another example. It's also more clear. He's only carry his mother, but Dazu, the Brahma son, carry his parents. So I want to know they are different. In Dunhuang, only mother, but in Dazu, it carries father and mother, but they all belong to the Brahma son, not Shyama. So I want to know where the image come from. I will let the question, leave the question alone and focus on another type, image type 2. The parents carrying by shoulder. I also show you just now, come from Ajanta Q number 17. So why the image at Dazu is not Shyama? His identity was changed. Why it changed? We can compare it. This is a Buddhist son, but is a Brahma son. This also Brahma son in Dunhuang, but they are different. The only mother, but he is a mother and father, same to the Buddhist. So I give a little summary up to now. The Shyama image have 2 types. One is taking water, another is carrying parents. But the Shyama image and the carrying parents image at Dazu followed type 2, but up to now only 1 example found in China in Dazu, not other place. So one more question is coming: how the image reached to Dazu? I will show you some detail about sculpture. We can see the face look like this. Look, Chinese people, and the monk, the common people, and the Bodhisattva or the Bodhisattva, the Buddha, all look like Chinese people. You can compare it. Here is come from Indian style, Indian, and here is come from Cambodia. And look like this one, the Dazu Cave. So we will go back, we will focus on the background of cultural exchange in southwest of China. I will mention important place, Cambodia. Because the Cambodia, look like the Cambodia image, I have to mention that important dynasty, Indian dynasty, Chola dynasty, is important in the middle way. The Chola Empire is held the exchange with China about 11th century, the same time of Dazu cave time, the cave, yeah, same time the Sichuan Dazu cave. You can see some Chola dynasty's monastery, temple. And here is Cambodia, the temple, the same time. In this Cambodia time, showing some Ramayana story. So I want to say the important thing is context, means why the same image, but his meaning difference. The important thing is context. is the Brahmanic context. We know the Syama Jataka is very famous in Ramayana story. It's very famous in Indian and in South Asia countries. Also, I also found a film in Indian net. It's a TV program. This piece found in Happy around 10th century. Also found some miniature painting about this. So, sorry, I have to hurry it because the time is up. Time is up. This picture also same. So this famous, this Ramayana story is very famous. This story reached to China, south part of China, about 10 or 11th century through Cambodia or Chola dynasty. This Ramayana be found the Dai version in China, Yunnan province. And also found the different language Shama's name. So we can say this story is very famous in this place. So my summary is that when the Shama story transmission to China in the second time, his context is changed. People know the story from Ramayana, means Brahmanic text, not Buddhist text. And another clue is Fa Xian recorded that when he visited in Sri Lanka, he watched the drama of Shama story in Buddhist festival. My Sri Lanka friend Gamani also told me the Shama story belonged to the Buddhism, but Shaman Kumar belonged to the Brahmanism. So it's different. Gamani also offered me some image in Sri Lanka, Buddhist context. Even to 8th century, the Shama's image also followed the type 1, means carrying the water image, not carry his parents by shoulder. Carrying his parents by shoulder only belong to Brahmanism. This come from Thailand and this come from India. So my summary for all is that the Chinese version and visual style of Shama Jataka come from Indian Buddhist context at the beginning. But when this image transmission to China in the second time, Chinese people know that the Brahma context, and now this image belong to the Brahmanism. So this image no more Buddhist dutiful son, but pagan. From India to China, the middle way is a Southwest Asia culture, especially Cambodia. Thank you. Actually, in Dazhu, this style, not only one, actually, I also found some another 2 pieces, but they are too late, belong to 8th century. This image also is non-Buddhist non-Buddhist finger. Okay, I will stop here. And tomorrow is a special day, 2 festivals in one. One is a Teacher's Day, another is a Mooncake Festival. So I will say Happy Teacher's Day and Happy Mooncake Festival to all. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Professor Ling. Thanks a lot. Thanks for your wonderful lecture and bringing in different versions of the Sham Jataka from South Asia as well as Southeast Asia and also China. Well, let me just make few observations. The story of the Sham Jataka exists in the 3 versions in India, especially. The third version is that of see, there is one version which exists in Pali. Another is Aryasur's Jatak Mala, and the third version is Haribhatta Jatak Mala. So what you are referring to, carrying those blind parents, very much exist in the Pali version as well as the Haribhatta Jatak Mala. The third important thing which you have brought to the notice is the ways in which the Chinese textual tradition has grown, and you have categorized them into, you have classified them into 3 categories, like the real text, the superior text, and then the maybe written by the Chinese scholars. So I think the entire sutra literature is all about interpretations of many of the stories and the discourses which already exist in the Pali text itself. The other important thing which I wish to flag over here is that the Ramayana story itself comes from the Dasharatha Jataka. Similarly, the Mahabharata is almost like a Ghata Jataka. And the earliest examples of this narrative, I mean, the Jatakas are the earliest examples of these narratives, and therefore they become very important. So to say that it comes from Ramayana becomes a little difficult to believe. And the text of Haribhatta Jatak Mala, which is found in Nepal, I am 100% sure that it must be also existing in China, because the Chinese have made so many translations of the many sutra texts that were already existing. And this Haribhatta Jatak Mala is also dated to something around 1st, 2nd century CE, maybe 2nd century CE. Almost after the date of Ashwaghosh. Well, the context, the interesting point which you have brought is the ways in which the pictorial narrative really function in the Chinese tradition, and how the Ananda becomes very important figure, and how much he is revered and how much he is not revered, or how the whole idea of critique of Ananda also gets represented in the Chinese narrative. Indeed, the Xinjiang, Gansu, then Sichuan, and all these provinces have been really hotbed of a large amount of Buddhist production. But I just want to have a very simple pinpoint question: is that the Ajanta narratives which you have shown, large amount of Ajanta narratives, either they come from Haribhatta Jatak Mala or they come from Divyavadana, the stories of the Divyavadana. And Divyavadana also exists in China. There is a Chinese version of the Divyavadana stories. So my pinpoint question would be, how do you understand these complexities of transmission of the text, and why, why it is not a it is not a possibility that the Chinese scholars developed their own version. They made their own interpretations based on the Buddhist ethics and the whole aspect of morality, which is so much associated with the figure of Bodhisattva. That is one question. The second question which you have raised is whether he is the son of a Brahma or this thing, but he is always narrated, especially in the Haribhatta Jatak Mala or even Aryasur Jatak Mala. See, in the Haribhatta Jatak Mala, the Sham is like he is a son of a head priest of a king. That is how his identity is. Whereas in the Pali version, it is not so. The identity is little diffused. Whereas and same goes with the Aryasur Jatak Mala. So these are some of those pointed questions which I would like to I would like you to answer, and then we will open for questions. Yeah, Ling, your response.
Yeah, sorry. First question.
My first question is why it is not possible that the Chinese scholar, the Chinese writers have made their own versions, keeping in mind the ethicality and the morality which is associated with the figure of Bodhisattva. My second question is that the identity of Shyama, or what the identity of Shyama in the Buddhist Jataka, whether it is Pali Jataka or it is Aryasur Jatak Mala or it is Haribhatta Jatak Mala. In the Haribhatta Jatak Mala, he is categorically mentioned as the son of a priest of a king. So all those things which it really exists in the Pali in the Buddhist tradition itself. And the Ramayana and Mahabharata. Ramayana comes from the Dashratha Jataka, whereas Mahabharata is almost like a Ghata, not Ghata Jataka, but some other Jatak is there. Whereas Bhagavata is a Ghata Jataka. So keeping those things in mind, how do you see this whole transmission, and why do you claim that it comes from the Ramayana and not from the text like Haribhatta Jatak Mala or Aryasur Jatak Mala?
Okay. I don't know how to answer. Actually, Chinese people or me, now this story come from Chinese version of Sutra of Syama. There are so many different versions, but all this version, I show you eight versions, Chinese version, but they are similar. It's very simple. Just talking about Shama is a former life of Buddha. He want pay kindness to his parents, help his parents practice in the jungle, and when his parents was thirsty, he want to take some water for his parents. Before nearly he died, he asked the king take care of his parents, but his parents crying to the Davis. So the four heavy kings, or sometimes is Indra, heard that his parents crying and down from heaven to here, and gave the Shama the life, and his parents also not blind, can see the things. At the last, the Buddha told Ananda that Shama is me. and the king is Ananda, is you, and something like that is the routine of the Jataka Sutras style. Almost the same. The 8 version almost the same. When the Ramayana story, yeah,
the Indra also gets mentioned in the Haribhatta Jataka.
Yeah. I show you that the Dazu image, the top one is Indra image. The Chinese people know the Ramayana story, maybe from 9th century, 10th century or 11th or 12th century, from Cambodia or maybe from south of India. Because we up to now the scholar already found the Chinese version, not the Chinese language is Bai language, not Bai language, Dai language. Dai is the local language of Yunnan province, the south part of China. Chinese scholar already found the Dai language version of Ramayana. So from 10 or 12th century, Ramayana story is famous, is well known to Chinese people. From this story, people know the Shama Kumar, and maybe from this we know the images, dutiful sense image. He carried his parents. Just now I show you some image, the carrying parents image from South Asia countries, Thailand, and the South Asia of south of India. So because Chinese people know this story and know these images by another context, means Ramayana context. So people believe that this dutiful son is a non-Buddhist figure. So this is why this figure appeared in Dazu or in Dunhuang. People not believe this son is a Shyama and changed his identity as Brahma's son.
Well, we can discuss it when we meet, because a lot of questions are there. Well, there are a couple of questions people have raised here. The first question which was raised by Khadga KC is, I mean, it is that's not a kind of a question which I would like you to answer, because you are not a political historian and you are a cultural historian. But there is a very pinpointed question for you from Samrat Ghosh, and it says this refers to illustration of Ajanta cave number 17, where one lady is balancing 2 ladies. I could not understand your explanation for it, and how does it help your narrative? So this is a pinpointed question. And then there is another question by Jitendra Kumar, who is in Sichuan. Is the description of Shyama Jataka is found in Chinese Milinda Panna? So these are the 2 important questions you have to answer. Yeah, Lee.
Yeah.
Is the illustration of Ajanta Cave 17 where lady is balancing 2 ladies? I could not understand your explanation for it, and how does it help your?
Yeah, I don't understand this question. One lady, not 2 lady, one lady. I don't know.
Mr. Ghosh, I think it is better you check the image once again, and the whole narration is in a vertical format. It exists in cave number itself.
Yeah,
And one can cross check. Yeah, one can cross check with Shinglov's interpretation as well. But there's pinpointed question for you, Ling, and you must answer this question. This is by Jitendra Kumar. Is the description of Shyama Jataka is found in Chinese Milinda Panna? There's a text called Question of Milander, that is Milinda Panno, which is there in Chinese. So do you find this a similar description of Shyama Jataka in that text?
The third question. No.
Yeah,
no.
third question. No.
Yeah,
okay,
no.
fine. So there are no more questions for you. So thank you very much. Thanks for a wonderful lecture and the whole idea of changing narrative. But I still, all my larger questions have not been addressed by you. So I hope when we meet we will have a conversation, and I hope you explain them through your research papers. So it will be a wonderful to read those things. And I request you to translate all your Chinese research books in English, so that we can read and we can understand, because you have produced so much of work on Hariti, Avalokiteshvara, so many things. And we would love to read that work, and we would also love to read the sutra text in China. Through translations.
Yeah. I want to exchange with Indian scholar. I want to get my English better.
Thank you very much. So over to Professor Ranjan.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Professor Alone, for steering the session. And thanks a lot, Professor Ling, for giving us a very comprehensive outlook of how the story of Sāma have two versions within China. And as Professor Alone has said, that we need to have more research on this story, that what went, like why there are two explanations, right? And why not, like as Professor Alone is asking, why not the morality on ethics of the Buddhism came into picture. So I think we should look forward to your books and articles translated into the English, so that we can understand more and more. I think we in India, I think need more and more articles and books written by Chinese, so that we know what the research Chinese people are doing on Buddhism. Largely it's restricted to China because of the language barrier. So I think, and then we also need to have this more collaboration with the Indian scholar, so that we have a kind of some common bridge to understand the Buddhism in China and also Buddhism in India. So with that, I again thank you all, Professor Alone, Ling, and all the people joining from China, from across the world, India. Thanks a lot for joining us, and look forward to meeting you again in the next session of this Himalayan dialogue. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you, Alone, sir. Thank you, Professor Rajiv. Thank you. I hope I speak clear on this lecture. Okay, thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you. See you.